Among economists, I spend a lot of my time with economists. My co-author on these two books, Steve Levitt, is an economist at the University of Chicago. Among economists, there's a central belief that choice is good, right? Therefore, more choice is better than some choice. The more choice, the better. That is a premier belief in economics. And we know that retail pretty much seems to believe in that too. Now, how true is it? How much does that work? How well does that work? Well, let me tell you about a very simple experiment that somebody ran to try to ask this question. Now, because it's a simple experiment, it's not foolproof. You'd want to replicate this many times and do it in a real-world setting. But here's the experiment. It was a very, very nice grocery store near San Francisco several years ago, and a researcher decided to do the following experiment. She set up a booth, a promotional booth with jam. One brand, 32 flavors. And she wanted to see how many people would stop to try a jam, and then how many would buy. And then the next week, she set up a similar booth, same brand, also jams, but only 6 flavors, to see how many people would test it and how many people would buy. Well, it turns out that when you set up 32 jars of jam for tasting, it's a real spectacle. This huge amount of choice was really attractive to people, and a lot of them stopped to try a jam. When it came time to buy, however, they didn't buy that much. When the booth had only 6 flavors of jam, not as many people stopped to try one, but a higher percentage of people bought than the ones who had tried at the 32 jam booth. Okay? This is what some people now call the paradox of choice. We think that consumers want a boundless number of choice. It turns out, as you heard Jill say earlier, the single thing they want most is for you to tell them that you have exactly what they want at a discounted price, right? So this is a real problem for you all. It's a good problem to solve, but it's a problem to solve. People say they want more, but what they really want is what they want. And the British Medical Association finally said, look, we know that men wear the tie to look important, to look authoritative, but we think you can look important and authoritative without a necktie, or even, God forbid, with a bow tie, and we're not going to let you wear these neckties anymore. And so that's what the British Medical Association did, was they banned that and improved hand hygiene and cut down on bacterial infection. The things that work, the things that get people to change their behavior, like I said, very often not the first thing we jump to. The data on the ground is much, much more important than just what people tell you they think the data will be.